Hi. So, it is almost 1 a.m. Eastern Standard. It's like 10 something Pacific. LVO, the Las Vegas Open, is running. I think it's like this is the first day of it. And Games Workshop is doing a preview. So I am streaming this live as they do. They're doing this as a Twitch stream. So I am going to basically just commentate and what have yous about this stuff. Actually, I think I'm going to drop out some of this light. It's a little too much. There we go. Some more mood light. Is this presentation started yet? Let's see here. We getting any sound there? No, not yet. Keep it around there. Hopefully that's not too loud for everybody. There we go. Alright, so you know what? I could probably just take this all the way down, I guess. You might still hear it pretty loud, I guess, through my mic. I just want to be able to hear when they go live. They go live. So the feeling is that the Avatar was to be the icing on the cake of this presentation, but unfortunately, everybody in their enthusiasm spoiled it, and showed off what was going on with that model. And I think basically like every image. Oh, there we go. It's Eddie and Wade. There we go. Oh, let me turn the volume back up for everybody.
Absolutely is. So this is the first Warhammer preview of 2022. We're absolutely delighted to be here at a slightly unconventional
Hopefully
time
you guys
today,
can hear
it's fair
the
to say,
audio
for Warhammer
okay.
Preview Online.
It's pretty early in the morning. I mean, I had to have my espresso this morning.
Yeah, for these guys, this has got to be really late for them. This is like
pretty
middle
early
of
for
the
us,
night for them.
but by no means necessarily early for where you are in the world. And as is tradition, we've seen the fine viewership tuning in to let us know where they are and what time it is where they are. That is a new.
I might be behind on the chat here, folks. I forgot to turn that on.
Like to see. So please let us know as we're getting ready to start revealing some excellent Warhammer things.
For anybody,
where are you? What are you looking forward to seeing today? What sort of time is it for you today? And we'll start talking about what we're going to be looking forward to seeing at the Warhammer Preview Online, because this is, as the title suggests, the Las Vegas Open.
The Las Vegas Open.
This is the Las Vegas Open taking place over in Las Vegas, America. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So Las Vegas Open is running this year. We've got a contingent out there from the official Warhammer events team that are in attendance. What would be really annoying for everybody watching this? A Warhammer preview themselves for the people who are in attendance. Right, so some people have already seen some of the cool stuff. But all of you guys tuning in around the world get to see it as well. Me and Wade will walk you through the cool stuff. We've got some pretty tasty things to show you. It's a pretty good
everybody gets denied the previews.
So the LVO, a huge gaming tournament, gaming celebration.
I wouldn't do that to you. You know what? Yeah, let's cover up the Ultramarine.
Usually there to make sure there's some previews, reveal some new things for people who are die-hard fans, all sorts of Warhammer good stuff, and it's usually a great opportunity. There wasn't a presence, there wasn't an LVO last year, was there?
No, I think like a lot of events last year, the Las Vegas Open
was
cancelled due to COVID, but I think this year it's great to see loads of events like the Las Vegas Open starting.
You said you might not make it.
So I think anybody who's
way too early in the morning for
gaming, who's been wanting to roll dice for the past 2 years is going to get a chance this year. There's loads of great events. Las Vegas Open is traditionally one of the largest Warhammer events of the year. I think it's got maybe, if not the largest, certainly one of the largest Warhammer 40,000 tournaments in the world, which is really cool. So there's thousands of people there at the moment who are getting ready to play some Warhammer games, which is really awesome. And I think as we want to
before this whole pandemic hit, I wanted to go to LVO.
We want to show up and show them some cool stuff and be in attendance as well. But not everyone can go. There's loads of people there, but if Vegas isn't exactly local to the whole world, so we thought we'd show everyone the other cool stuff we've got as well.
Yeah.
Where
is there a place on this earth that's local to everyone?
All over.
So this has been correctly identified as the Troke phase of the Warhammer Previews Online, because when Adam Troke is here, you may have noticed Adam Troke, your regular co-host for these sorts of shows, is not here in meat space in the studio with us. He's there in the chat. I can see him in the little chat box, and he likes to warm these shows up by inviting people to let us all know where people are watching from. Some are watching from Texas,
after the stream.
From Moscow.
I'm going to go to bed after the stream.
Of course. So it's 6 a.m. here in Essex. It's the same time zone that we have here in Nottingham. There's all sorts of people from all sorts of places.
Oh, they're in Nottingham.
Tuning in, rapidly
I thought they were in
on the
Las
counter
Vegas.
of how many people, hundreds and thousands, in fact, tuning in to watch. Seattle. Someone says Necromunda. I'm not sure that's true.
No, I think that might have been what they're excited to see rather than where they're tuning in from, because the internet signal in Necromunda is notoriously poor.
We just don't know. It just says Necromunda. Roma. That's maybe Rome. Quite possibly. Alberta, Canada. People just using those kind of American abbreviations for states.
I don't know any of those.
No, it's just wah. Maybe it's just someone trying to shout wah, but they just got too excited.
Orc fans represented. Nice
12 p.m. in Mexico. Oregon, Netherlands. Winnipeg.
All right, Eddie and Wade.
But in the winter.
Let's get on with this shit.
I understand that. I can't spend the next hour or so just reading lists of places out, can I?
I don't think so. I'm not sure that's what people tuned in for. I think people like to tell you where they're from.
A little bit.
They're probably here to see some cool Warhammer stuff. But speaking of Warhammer, before we dive into it, Wade, have you been doing any hobby?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. I've been trying to pick off some older projects that have been kind of cluttering up my paint station for a little while.
Hey, Kim, how does the audio sound?
Does it sound
like, are you hearing them properly?
But I was finishing off some objective bases for my Orc army, my Blood Axes.
Nice. Are you hearing me okay? Are you hearing the video okay?
In the last year, rocking around in the Octaria sector.
Feel free to let me know when things
I've got a few things on
going
my
sideways
table at the moment. So I've been doing some Custodies as a bit of a palette cleanser.
Chaos of Jersey. Chris, love those tutorials.
So there's 2 kill rigs currently getting painted up.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Which are bigger models than I expected when I started painting them. They're quite ambitious projects, actually, the kill rigs, but very cool. And looking forward to blasting some stuff with some massive.
Everything sounds clear. Okay. Yeah, you and both sounds great. Okay, cool.
So that should be fun.
That's very killy.
They're super killy. Yeah.
2 is very killy.
They're very killy.
Now, you are the pioneer of the hashtag Orc in Progress, which is one of my favourite hashtags.
It was just a typo when I first wrote it. And it's just a happy coincidence.
Some people go for Work in Progress Wednesday, but Eddie, sticking to his orcish hobby, goes for hashtag Orc in Progress. And I've nicked
awesome 2019.
Looting is
audio's good. Okay, thanks. Awesome.
It's fair to say. Good times.
Awesome.
What kind of hobby have you got on the go? We've been doing our Hangout and Hobby shows, as we often do, through the week. We've got another Hangout and Hobby show later on this evening. We've changed up some of our live streaming to accommodate the fact that our producer, Raph, will probably be going to sleep a little bit later on. We'll put him into cryostasis because he's been up early with us as well. But there'll be Hangout and Hobby shows with Peachy rocking around doing some hobby live here on Twitch later on today. We'd like to know what sort of good stuff people are looking forward to seeing, what sort of stuff people are doing while they're watching. If you're doing any hobby while you're watching, caffeinated hobby is often the best hobby. Make sure you don't cut your fingers.
Caffeinated?
I do all my best hobby in the hours between midnight and 2 in the morning.
Cool. The father of young child.
I mean, that's certainly a factor, but that's mostly where my hobby gets done at the moment. It's like
fair play.
Midnight hobby is pretty much where I'm at. But yeah, if you're doing cool hobby at home, let us know what you're up to. Have you painted any particularly awesome things recently? Are you doing any cool projects? Any great models on the go? It'd be cool to hear what you're up to.
Come on, boys.
We
Let's
are
go.
here to see some cool Warhammer, but we always like to hear what you're up to as well.
Ravenlord 19 working on Storm Speeder before I start Tau. It's a pretty skimmer-minded hobby altogether. I've been tempted to dive head first and buy a Tau Na as my first Tau battlesuit. That is at the very, very deep end of the biggest sort of walking, stomping Tau piece of destruction. And Slayer 000 is almost done with 500 points of blood rage.
What up?
Also tons of looting.
What?
There's looting in the air.
Just watching this preview.
So,
they haven't done anything yet.
Hobby stuff. Magnetizing some Death Guard.
They're just taking comments right now.
Citron Dricker. Blade.
Now I thought these guys were going to be in Las Vegas, but like, is anybody like from the marketing team at Vegas? Like, I thought this was going on at Vegas.
A bit of that.
But yeah.
Evil Sun's Daka Killer War Tribe for the new year.
Joshua Atkins. Hi, Chris. Hope you're well. Just starting my Yandid army, and now all this Eldar goodness is coming. I know. I'm excited.
And we have a good mix of cool
stuff. Kim, good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Hopefully, there's a little bit of
Kim, am I streaming to YouTube?
There's a little bit of something in this preview for everybody. And if you like all of Warhammer, there's a
little secret. I just left the settings when I do wave the brush. So I just hit the one button and it does two places.
To see some things have been revealed.
Yeah, so we know
because I couldn't be bothered,
Warhammer 40,000
inputting for both. And
we know we're going to see some Warhammer Age of Sigmar. Pretty cool. We know we're going to see some Kill Team.
But yeah, I basically am doing this to YouTube right now as well because I don't really feel like downloading it from Twitch and then sending it to YouTube, right?
And even some more that's not even been.
The Gib. Somebody needs to give these Muppets directions. They seem to be yammering. Yeah, I know.
Shall we go and see some of the excitement that was shared.
Yeah,
from our
boys, let's
friends
go.
over in Las Vegas.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, great stuff.
Got me
so
up
a
till
video from the
1
team
a.m.
over in
for
Las
God's
Vegas
sakes.
just before they started their preview a little
I
while
realized
ago.
that they had to get up early. But
Eddie
still.
and Wade, I am
Oh, here
so
we go.
excited to be bringing you a snippet
Oh,
from
wow.
the Las Vegas Open. We're back here for the first time after 2 years, getting ready to share an incredible preview with this amazing crowd that you guys can see.
Yeah,
all
look at
behind me.
That's cool. That's cool. It's a lot of people. Wow.
Well, we are masks on, excitement up, and getting ready to make that avatar not wait any longer. I hope you guys have a fantastic preview. Hello to the whole Warhammer community. We're so excited. Eddie, Wade, back to you guys.
That looks pretty excellent altogether, doesn't it?
They're
that's
having
cool.
a lot of fun.
Yeah. So we need the Twitch chat to simulate that excellent reaction that Mike Brandt got from announcing the upcoming LVO preview over in Las Vegas a little while ago. I saw
So if you could all shout woo or wah if you've chosen the best army.
Tradition.
Woo or
yeah,
wah?
wah is tradition. There are some woos,
Woo-wah?
some woos and ahs.
Dougie,
loud
that's a big room,
noises
yeah.
in block capitals.
Yeah.
It's good to see. Plenty of woos, plenty of woos.
From what I
That is
understood,
some
like
feedback
LVOs,
that
like
we'd be looking
previously,
to
it was
get.
more
what we
like
live
a
for.
series
That's
of
what we turn up.
rooms
That's
as
what we
opposed to
live
one
for.
big room. Because I assume that's where the
yeah, there's
convention's going on,
a
and
bit of
it's
buzz when
it's
you do
that
these
big
sorts of
gaming
previews
room.
in front of a live
yeah.
studio.
Because you go to
audience,
like
so to speak,
Adepticon, and
because
it's like
people actually reacting
2
in
of those
real
big
time.
rooms.
There's a bit of a delay with the Twitch chat, so I'll keep looking down at the box every now and again just to
For
see
the most
how
part.
excited people truly are about what's getting revealed and what's getting announced. But yeah, doing these things in meat space, as we like to say, when there are events and the opportunity
Meat
to
spaces.
really interact with Warhammer hobbyists and see the delight.
That sounds
excitement
dirty.
these things get revealed.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
If you ever get a chance to join us for one of our in real
Pretty
life
sure you get
previews,
arrested
as it
for
were,
that.
then do come along. They're a lot of fun.
Why don't
You
you
get
come
a
with
chance
me?
to ask
We'll go to my
questions and
meat
things at the
space.
end. Me and Wade obviously have a lot of fun talking about the cool stuff. But it's not quite the same.
Boys, you're killing me.
You know,
Let's
we
go.
actually see hundreds of thousands of excited hobbyists.
Yeah.
Oh!
I know people want us to start showing some toy soldiers.
We should
soon
probably
enough.
do that.
We should probably do that. Yeah, I reckon so. So we've got lots of videos, as is tradition. The format of this sort of show, we'll have videos to show. We'll play the videos. Then we've got pictures that will accompany the videos.
Hold on.
And dive
When
into
if there's a
some of the
video,
things that get
I'll
revealed
take
and
this little
see,
camera
make sure
off.
everybody understands just how excited and why we're that excited when we reveal these things. So please, Raph, play us our first video.
Oh, here we go. All right. I'm still here, I think. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. Shining spears. Yeah. Mogan Raw. Oh, yeah. I was telling my son the other day that I figured he was going to have a hood. And he does. He does. I can't even fucking talk. Look at the terrain. I wonder if that's going to be something for sale. Because, yeah, they'll get me with that.
They're walking. The Avatar has called. War calls. The Eldar have answered. And we've got a huge Craft Worlds release to look forward to.
Yeah, so we knew.
Did they show the
way.
book?
I
didn't even
There was
notice.
lots of cool stuff. We've seen a few of them before. We've seen the Guardians. We've seen the
like the
Rangers,
Shining
and the jet
Spears.
bikes. We know are on the way. But just confirming a few of the
Jim,
final
shut
pieces slotting into place for this fairly
Hucka hey!
sizable,
Wow, you're up
release
late.
for the
Haha.
Craft World.
Great to see LVO back.
And you can
Yeah.
see very nicely behind us all of the forces that are shiny and new in plastic have assembled in that nice battle shot. Looking very cool. But
Yeah,
let's
he's
dive
big, but
into
he's not-
some of the
he's not gigantic.
specific miniatures and get excited about them. So the best kept, I think fair to say, the best kept secret on the internet.
Yeah.
The Avatar of Kane is getting
Love
a
it.
glorious new plastic release. This is replacing a model that has been in circulation for something like 28 years, I think, when we did the maths on it.
28 years, yeah.
A classic miniature, very cool. We had his retirement party earlier on.
Yeah, Mugen Ra looks good for Eldar. Yeah, he does.
A glorious new plastic miniature. I think people got a chance to have a look at this guy for the first time.
Dougie, first time we see
yesterday
the spears?
in detail.
Yeah, I believe that's the first
Take
time we're
moment
getting
to
a
revel
clear
in the
picture
pure
of him,
awesomeness
yeah.
that is a molten god of battle made flesh again. Very,
Little
very
disappointed
cool
though there was no space marine on the
Absolutely
base.
stunning, isn't it? It's got all the
Little
qualities
disappointed.
that we recognise and remember from some of the classic black and white artwork from the early 90s.
Kim, yeah, the Avatar looks great, yeah.
All the
Shining Spears, yeah.
designs of Avatar miniature that have graced tabletops around the world over the last few decades, but much, much bigger, it's fair to say, and much more detailed.
Loads of really nice little details on there as well. So you can see all the various aspect shrines represented in his various jewelry. So you've got Striker Scorpions and Reapers and Dire Avengers, and I think there's even a little Warp Spider earring he's got there as well, which is quite fun. But he's got some options in the kit, which is pretty cool. And here are some of the options. We've seen a few of these already, but this is a chance to get a nice, glorious close-up look at them. Loads of really cool stuff.
The unhelmeted head,
I think, is the.
I don't know. I'm torn. I'm torn
this
between
has always been a weapon
the original head
and
that
in the
unhelmeted
Avatar,
head.
which forms to whatever
I am
shape
torn.
it needs to be
I don't know.
to chop up whatever foe he happens to be facing. Traditionally, we're used to seeing it as a sword, but we've also in the past seen it as a spear in his epic incarnation.
And the spear. I'm thinking like that.
And from Forge World.
Unhelmeted head
axe,
and the spear
as well, which I think you were saying.
Don't be surprised if
I think so. Just
if I model it that way.
It's been described in
I don't think I'll magnetize or anything like that.
The wailing doom, the doom that wails.
I don't really feel it necessary.
We've seen it, as you say, as a sword, as a spear, but to see it realized.
Kim, 3 heads, 3 weapons. Yeah,
it's very much like Fuigan the Burning.
I know it is pretty impressive considering.
Yes, Dad. That's the sort of axe that I want to go and rock around with. That's my fire axe too.
Yeah, I think all of the Eldar aspects to some extent take their lead from the Avatar of Kane, so they're all taking aspects of him. So the shining spears are inspired by the spear of him. You've got the axe there inspiring the weapons of some of the Fire Dragon Exarchs, and the various different aspects, the skull essence of the Avatar.
I wonder if the shining spears in the new Ranger bike will be a single kit.
Even things like the one in the center there with the bare head, quite reminiscent of some of the Drakari.
Zero's hobbies, the spear and no helmet looks badass. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Quite fun.
Don't be surprised, people, if I forego the traditional head and go with that unhelmeted head with the spear.
Helm or head option.
I don't know. It kind of has, with that kind of look, with the spear and everything like that, it kind of feels a bit, a little bit Native American.
Demons, if that's the way
Dougie, I think I like the second helmet with the ear thingy, with the back thingy,
the Wraithlord base one, that kind of sculptured Eldari base that's informed an awful lot of the designs that we'll maybe see on some of the other characters in some of the pictures later on. In the Jainzar and the Drazar as well.
I like the model.
A little while ago,
I seen somebody had done a mock-up as well. They photoshopped out the flames.
It might be cracked, it might be blown
and it looked kind of cool without the flames
all
too.
Over the battlefields of the 41st millennium. The Imperium's not been able to completely get rid of it. So to see the Avatar stomping around and the burning skull, that's another nice classic touch.
It's such a pretty looking model.
Yeah, it looks like some of the very original sketches of the Avatar that included that. Nice as well to see the Avatar's kind of full.
Yeah, the axe, Darren. The axe looks cool. Yeah, the axe does look cool.
That's the place
all the options,
like you could have a picture
the helmet with the single crest on the back.
Asleep.
I'm not 100%.
Cooling, I suppose, and then just.
I'm really torn from doing the traditional helmet and doing him in
from the ground and kind of
the default color scheme
once more, sort of thing.
I'm torn.
It's nice as well, just looking at the different designs of the
Kim,
helmets and
hope they made them so we can put a magnet in the wrist and have the options to change. It doesn't look like the hand changes.
Not manifesting an avatar to go to war.
So
they might have different designs of statue.
It could very well be as easy as to magnetize.
The Eldari way, you would have thought there's lots of beautiful representations across the
and same with the head options. The heads could be magnetized as well. If that's the case, then why not, right?
The helmet that we see on the left-hand side and the bottom right, that's a very new design for...
Gim, the spear would be cooler if he was looking like he was throwing it, like the other pose, I concur.
Blood-dripping hand, that's a
classic
piece.
Yeah. Well, we know that the Avatars of Kane are basically like shards of the god, aren't they? Once he was shattered by the birth of Slaanesh, so it may be that they all have slightly different temperaments, that they represent different aspects of the god. Who knows if they met each other? Would they
Alex, just join the frickin' chat.
Some of them are burning and furious, and some of them are furious and burning.
Join on YouTube or
depends on
Twitch,
the priority that they have. But he is the bloody-handed god, and that is the bloody hand that makes him the bloody-handed god. Used to just be the war.
Kim, looks like it's a line by the bracelet on the wrist.
Bloody-handed god. Of the slaying.
Oh, you think that the weapon has the hand, and so they just sculpted the hand 3 times?
It looks like he's not very happy about it altogether. So that's
very, very possible.
Yeah, it's fair to say. But the Eldari have dealt with their problems in a lot of different ways, and that's something that we might touch on.
Not always healthy ways.
Not really. No.
Shut up.
I've seen a lot of how the Drakari deal with their run away, hide in a labyrinth.
Your best, just to hold your tongue.
And
bite your lip. Whatever you got to do.
Rigid path system.
Just
and
let
it
it
allows
happen.
them every now and again to release the avatar.
This is happening.
Pretty good trade-off for living trammeled lives of discipline.
Oh, you know what?
I think we should probably move on. We've talked about the Avatar.
This, Morgan Ra, look at this.
Morgan Ra, the Phoenix Lord.
What fucking A.
So he was the Phoenix Lord of the Dark Reaper's Shrine when
that is badass.
Syrian, the Eldari god, set about different ways
Alex,
of
I told you.
venerating Kane, the war god.
I wouldn't be surprised if he had a hood. They made him look like a death jester, supreme kind of thing.
Shrines. There's lots of different aspect shrines that venerate Kane as the war god in all sorts of different ways. Most of them get up close and personal, but Morgan Ra decided you could just do it from the other side of the battlefield with the
clear shot of it again.
Which is his ginormous shuriken shrieker cannon. Fires plates
so pretty.
Shuriken. I've always liked that particular description of them. When it hits you with something the size of a plate, and then you explode, which is pretty decent. He's still got that wicked scythe end to
He's still going to make a mess.
His shuriken cannon is just gigantic.
If you're anything short of a Space Marine Chapter Master, he's probably still going to carve you in half.
I would reckon so. Yeah, he's done that.
I like how it has enough callback to the original model, yet
which was dragged into the eye
doesn't
of
rely on it.
Of the Eldari and the birth.
Because like the Jane Czar is kind of very very close to the other Jane Czar, whereas this one is
he had been for a long time the only Eldari.
Not really like the previous Morgan Ra.
Grim and morbid. It's good to see another
Dougie, that gun. I know, man. It's
huge. We don't have enough of those.
It's
huge. I think Eldar very much proven that the Imperium doesn't have the monopoly on skulls in Warhammer 40,000.
Fuck no.
Interesting in a bunch of other ways.
Bedecked skull. He's
this
bedazzled.
Is a much more ragged look than almost everything else in the Craft World range.
I wonder if he has options. I wonder if you can do them without the hood
very
too.
Clean aesthetic where they obviously the cloaks are in good nick generally. That their armor is relatively kind of clean and such.
Love how it looks like the wind is blowing against them. You can imagine him at night with the moon behind him.
But slightly reminiscent to some extent of the
artwork, basically.
The Harlequin.
Just describe the fucking art piece.
Similar sort of aspect, I suppose.
Yeah, and I guess as he's not been able to go home for thousands of years, Veltanzar got dragged into hell.
Really cool.
Essentially, well,
I suppose your dry cleaners on the Craft World, isn't it? So they can't look after your cloak very well.
And as is tradition, beautifully painted. Just looking at the different shades of black represented, that's definitely
Zero Hobby. Definitely a throwback look, but updated. He's close. He's got the same beats, but he doesn't feel like a direct translation of the previous model. This is way better. Kind of what I figured. I was telling my son that I wouldn't be shocked
from a lore perspective as well. He's got
if they give him a Dark Reaper look or like a Grim Reaper look with like the cowl and everything like that.
The origins of the aspect of the Reaper.
He has it. So
the Blood God Kane has got some.
So they're saying how basically I can imagine seeing him with the hood.
Eldar and Necron
Critics, they went for it.
There's some interesting kind of connective tissue there in terms of where the aspect of death comes from in Eldar culture.
I concur.
Quite fun. If you're into your Eldar lore, which I am, so it's some good stuff there in terms of some light reading.
Light reading. Not before bed, though, into your very, very ancient history. It looks like he's got a few spirit stones on his back. He's been picking up from fallen friends. And now more plastic aspect warriors, the Shining Spears. Delighted to see, I'm sure. They are beautiful and clean, aren't they?
They are a long time coming, I think, for Shining Spears. So these guys have been represented in the range for a little while in a mix of metal and plastic, and then resin.
This is interesting.
But we've never had a full plastic kit for these before, and they've still
because these are not the same bikes as the Shroud Runners.
Look, but they got updated with a brand new style of jet bike. So people who are familiar with the Eldar range at the moment will see that their jet bike is a little bit fancier in a variety of ways than the standard one. You've got like a little lance holder on the side there to kind of prop your lance on as you charge.
Look at that.
It's got a few extra.
These bikes are made for this squad. That's really cool because usually, like they make the jet bike and then give it to a whole bunch of different,
computer thing that kind of comes up and lets them drive around. And then the warriors themselves are obviously an aspect armor, and they've got.
I wonder if they're going to change the default jet bike,
we haven't
like
seen
the regular
jet
bike,
Jeep bike. They previously just had kind of classic Eldar.
Fucking Jeep bikes.
And the spears themselves are pretty cool. They're kind of reminiscent of some of the Eldar heavy weaponry to some extent. Like
they look like knights
and stuff. And then the Star Lance you can see on
looks like some sort of sci-fi knights.
Looks like a kind of weaponized lance version of a prism cannon, which is pretty fun. So lots to like there.
Laser lances, they're very much knightly aesthetic. in the Eldari style. And I like thinking that essentially everything that human culture has gone through in its history.
I'm just going to leave my face off the screen, and I'm just going to come in periodically with expressions.
Riding around jousting, but as is the Eldari way, they don't just use crude, pointy sticks. They've got like focusing crystals with lasers at the end of them.
I'm not high enough for this.
To start people when they charge in.
Right, we've got laser tech. Should we make a gun out of it? No, that's very primitive. Let's make it into a lance.
Yeah. Fuck yeah!
And
look at this,
people
man.
on a jet bike.
Absolutely, the fusion of these things.
Just because we no longer have horses and we've invented laser technology.
We don't have horses anymore.
No, we should remember our roots. Excited to imagine the sort of Autarch Skyrunner conversions that might come out of these beautiful.
Yeah, these are pretty cool.
Kits.
These are pretty cool.
Released as well.
Yeah.
There's lots of cool mixing and matching opportunities.
Oh, look at that!
There.
I didn't notice that.
A lot of potential.
They got
for,
shuriken catapults and a cannon.
fans
I haven't
like
been listening to
generally
them,
across
so
this Eldar
if they
release,
said
You've
it,
also got those new
I wasn't listening.
Ranger jetbikes, the Shroud Runners.
Yeah.
So that combined with your, we've already got characters for the Warlocks and for Farseers, and we've got the jetbikes, and now we've got these guys, and we've got your Shroud Runners. So you can imagine some pretty cool looking.
Doug, your favorite model so far? Yeah, Darren.
Kind of
I think the bike
jet
chassis
bikes,
might be the
high-end
same as the
base
Shroud Runners.
lists,
No,
or even make
it's
up
not.
your own craft world and have fill them full of jet bikes. Very fast, and obviously Eldar jet bikes are very good in game as well. They're very maneuverable. These guys are going to hit pretty hard, kick people off objectives. So in game terms, this is a really handy little unit. And actually, even though
Ranger
they
jet bikes,
new models for a very long time, we've still seen Shining Spears pop
and
up
it
in
had
lots
like
of Eldar armies.
where the exhaust for the nozzle, the engine nozzle,
if you want to
there's
be fast
more
hitting,
bike heading
got much
upwards
better than a Shining Spear.
from the engine nozzle.
They do represent the colours.
That's not present on these.
A very different take on aspects of Kane to the dark.
Are they going to be the same kit? I don't.
And moody.
I don't
they're
see
sort
it.
of the literal opposite, aren't they?
Pretty
They're
much.
like,
I don't
you
see
like
it.
black? They're like white. Yeah. You like standing still and shooting far away? I like going fast and stabbing people in the face.
You got the whole spectrum covered. So to go with
Gim.
the plastic helm banshees.
Chris, go rub one out. I can't handle your orgasm face. The O face.
Well.
Showing them my O
More
face.
and more plastic Eldari aspect warriors coming along. Excellent stuff altogether.
Zero's
As
hobbies.
mentioned,
Notice a
there
ton
is
of units
huge
between
range
8th and
of
9th
Eldari
are
miniatures.
all 3 model
Avatar
units. Yeah.
of Kane at the centre.
You get a sense of how big he is there. So we had quite a lot of speculation yesterday about like how big is the Avatar of Kane?
Is that big?
Yeah, if you remember
That's about the same
previous
size as
version,
the
he
Forge World one, I
stood,
think.
Maybe half again as tall as a Space Marine. This guy is considerably larger. He's about 3 times the height of a Space Marine in battle. So he's
Now, I think you guys all know.
Like Greater Demons and Catan Shards and all the kind of
That'll
the big
end up in
stuff
my
you'd want
collection.
him to be fighting in cool epic showdowns. So almost this guy's kind of reason for being is to
that's
find
pretty
the
cool.
biggest,
They're
coolest
all
thing in
new
the enemy
models.
army and challenge it to a
Other than
fight
the
to
ones-
the death at the
the
middle of the
tanks.
battlefield. So
Oh, and a Wraith
if they've
Knight.
got a Keeper of Secrets or a Bloodthirster or a Catan Shard or something
The
big
Gim,
and
the
cool
second
and
seat can
scary,
just add
he's
on.
usually got historic beef with almost every big major thing in 40k
Maybe.
to some capacity. So
I doubt it, though.
Going to cook that beef. As it
I'll just say that.
And make all of the Eldari around him much
Be'lakor, there's a good
angrier.
shout there. Someone in the chat.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be a good fight.
Absolutely. Do you have a preferred Eldari craft world? Are you thinking of getting into the craft worlds or the Eldari
So I
itself?
like Sam Hyatt.
Zero's
I
hobby. Damn, he a big one.
Red
Yes.
armies look pretty sweet.
That's a good size.
So I like the look
I'm
of them.
pleased.
They
I'm
look
torn.
pretty good, though. I think
I'm
the
very, very
Eldar,
torn.
colour
Because I want to
palettes,
do. I
have
initially
stood
wanted to
test of
do
time
the
pretty
traditional
well, so
helmet.
They're all pretty
I
great
didn't know
looking,
he
but
was
I
going to
think there's
have
something about red armies
other
on the battlefield that
options
looks
for his head.
great.
I'm a sucker for
And
red and black
the
armies and
unhelmeted
stuff,
head
but I've got a
is
bit
kinda
of the
growing
Alpha
on me.
Alpha Force, I'm eyeing up some
But I
of
definitely want to do the
Storm
spear,
Guardians.
though.
Storm Guardians kit is beautiful as well, isn't it?
It's very, very cool. I think I didn't know that I wanted New Guardians until I saw them, and then I was like,
Kim
oh,
thought he was on an 80 mil
Yeah,
base. It
it's
looks like
difficult
that's
to
100
improve on
mil.
Jez Goodwin
Is it?
classics altogether. Remember those plastic multi-part Guardians? when
Gim,
they
is that a
came
new
out in,
tank?
like,
Picture looks blurry.
1999.
Oh, in the backpack?
It's in
No.
the extra details and the dynamism of those.
No, it looks like a
particular swords,
falcon
yeah,
and
the
a fire
anger in the
prism,
faces,
and then up
the
closer
detail
is the wave
captured
serpent.
in those beautiful Eldari faces. I think there's been an awful lot of attention paid to the quality altogether. We've also seen new warlocks as well, plastic warlocks, which have managed to cast a glamour spell and make them disappear. from
Darren,
this
yeah,
particular
the
picture.
the
Got
fins and
loads
the
of Eldari
intakes
stuff
are in the
the
same
way.
position
This is
on
new
both
warlock.
bikes.
We might even have some more
Well,
stuff.
some more
to tease
stuff. Who
actually.
knows? Who knows?
We've already
Yeah.
heard
Most of it. We've seen most
It's
of it.
most
now.
of it.
We've
It's
seen
most of it. They only show.
I don't
what
think
they
they're the
want
same
us to
bike, though.
see at any point in time. People chiming in now with their favourite craft worlds altogether. Gravy
Yeah,
Lollin
Sam
saying
Hunt.
Hyandon is the best craft worlds. There's lots of different ways of dealing.
Sam Hunt's
with
the
these
best
Tyranids would
craft
certainly
world.
agree that that's
I don't
the
know.
tastiest.
I don't know what all
tastiest
these other
craft world
imposters are
altogether,
talking
potentially,
about.
yeah.
Sam Hunt
Yeah,
is the
I'm a
best
big fan
craft
of
world.
that Eldari release. I'm looking forward to
You
seeing
know, I'm not
what
even sure
else
if I say
might
that
come in
correctly.
the form of the So
Sam
had to
Hunt,
find one to kick us
same
off,
Hunt.
but
It's pretty cool, pretty
Excellent
cool. I don't know.
40k release.
New plastic aspect warriors and new Phoenix Lords. Not too shabby.
That's also maybe something that we saw teased in what we might look forward to in 2022's releases. I think some people.
Now that picture that they're showing in the background, I wonder if that's going to be the picture for like the big army bundle.
Some people maybe suspected he was on his way.
No, it's got the tanks in the background, so no, it couldn't be.
The kind of preview.
Oh, it's got flyers in the background as well.
I want to keep that handy as we go through the rest of today's reveals. So that started us off. Should we move on to?
I think
the next video.
Oh, next video. Okay. Get my mug off the screen.
None may steal from the god of death. For too long, the elves have denied Nagash his due. It ends now.
Our souls belong to us. Who will take them from our stronghold of Huronka? A host of tortured spirits in service to a mad god?
No walls bar our way. With my Craven throne guard by my side,
Damn, we're getting like a story with this.
I shall have victory.
I don't know what the hell is going on here with this, as far as what the story's concerned.
They will fall to my heart.
Give him some Sam Ham, pronounced as dicks on bikes. It's better than schmuck on wheels.
The of your quill means naught, Scripta Mortis. The only souls returning to Shaiish will be.
Is this the latest episode of fucking Hammer and Bolter or what? Oh, did you?
I did not expect them to open it up with the
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that either. It's kind of hilarious.
but it was
The voice acting is top notch. Ooh, is this Warcry or something? Yeah, Cam Carrier looks like I'm broke. Yeah, we all
Excellent. So Warhammer Age of Sigmar Battle
That's
Box,
pretty cool.
Arena of Shades. What did we see in there?
So this is a brand new battle box for Warhammer Age of Sigmar, Arena of Shades. This is the Nighthaunt versus the Daughters of Kane. Kane is having a pretty good day today.
Absolutely
he's very active, you know.
Yep.
He's up to
That's
stuff in the
cool.
41st Millennium, and he's got his warriors, or possibly someone else's warriors, working under his name, fighting for him in the Mortal Realms.
Oh, this is
a
regular
new
Age of
battle box
Sigmar.
with some new heroes. And
I was
new
thinking this
units
was like
for the
Warcry
Nighthaunt,
or
which is very
something.
exciting, and loads of other stuff.
I wasn't
in there
really
as
paying
well.
attention,
So this
so.
heralds an exciting time for both those two armies.
I'm not gonna lie.
But some really very cool miniatures
kinda high.
on the way. So, like a lot of our other battle boxes, this is a chance to get hold of some new minis first, which will
It's fucking
have
1 a.m.,
a
people,
larger
come
release
on.
later on, but also a great chance to start
Zero
using those
hobby.
two
Oh,
armies.
dem
So
Nighthaunt's looking
if you,
hot. Yeah, I know.
Fancy
They look
yourself
really
some
cool.
ghosts or some cool bloodthirsty warrior gladiatrixes.
Always.
This is a pretty
I really
good place
wish
to start.
Games
And if you've got
Workshop,
a
though,
friend
would
who
do
likes the
more
other
with
half of
clear
it,
plastics.
There's pretty much it's perfection.
Like the
isn't it?
ghosts
So
would have
shall we
been
a look at
cool
some of
in
these,
clear plastics.
models up close. This guy
that's a
is
cool piece.
Like,
Let me
just
get
an
my face
amazing
off the screen
miniature.
here a
Very,
sec.
very interesting, different
Scriptor Mortis.
kind of not a warrior certainly, but a very characterful, interesting miniature. All sorts of stuff to talk about there.
It looks like something right out of like Tim Burton or something, you know, like
been blessed with
fucking
for the
Nightmare
task
Before
at hand.
Christmas.
There you go.
Or the Nightmare
Yeah,
Before.
it's a
No,
gorgeous figure. We
what is
were
it? The
looking
Merry
at that in
Halloween?
the office
No,
the other
I
day
can't remember.
as we were drooling over it. So this Scriptor Mortis, I was looking at the background in the box as well. This is someone that Nagash has cursed for the crime of telling inconvenient truths, such as how Nagash was imprisoned under a cairnstone.
That is a crime.
Sigmar was
Telling
the one that
inconvenient
freed him.
truths.
Nagash doesn't like people hearing these
days,
inconvenient
anyway.
truths, so has cursed these scribes from a former life.
This is a cool
to
looking
have to
piece. This
record
is
the
different.
names of all of those who have wronged him and done transgressions. So you can see that Nagash has
I like
blessed this accursed figure with an extra arm. So he's a benevolent god in some respects. Like if you're just going to be a kind of writer and editor for all of time for Nagash, he's gonna
Sophie,
twist
wow.
you into weird ways.
Someone
With
is
the tools that
up
you need to do
late.
the job.
Surprised to see
We're
you
also looking
streaming
at the
this
lanterns
early.
and
Not bad
candles. He's got a
not
bunch
bad
of
start to my
lights.
day.
He's lit. Like,
Yeah.
he's well lit. He's got
Morning,
like
Sophie.
a candle
Morning.
coming out of what looks like his
I'm,
spine, which I suppose is fine.
yeah,
He's
it's
got
like
a little
1:30
lantern
in the
there as
morning
well,
for
which
me,
is
so-
some kind of weird green ghostly vapor.
you know.
You can imagine this guy kind of appearing out of the
When
mists
duty
in,
calls.
Shaiish, can't you?
Duty.
And, looking absolutely terrifying. What he's writing down there is basically the names of all the people that Nagash are on Nagash's
Yeah, I like
list,
this
basically.
piece. This is really cool.
So in game terms, the way that this guy works is that you pick an enemy hero and he goes, aha, you are being added
Aha.
to Nagash's naughty list right now, and then the god of death will pay close attention to your battle and basically curse that enemy hero.
Zero
which
Hobby's
is
gonna
got
get
some
it,
quite
yeah.
fun in-game
Might as
mechanics. So you want to
I mean,
get
if
rid of
you're
this
all
guy
about the
early on
Night
if you're
Haunts
up
or
against
the
him.
Daughters of
But obviously
Kane, I
he's gonna
mean,
be,
why
you can
not,
see,
right? It's
not a warrior
an easy
necessarily, but
sell.
able to defend
It's just
himself
like all
with
this
all
Eldar
those
stuff.
spectral
Like,
defenses.
yeah, of course you're going to get
so
it.
he's going to
Like,
kind of
I'll
hide
spend
in back
all
of
the
your
money
Night
on it.
Haunt army and basically just
I'll sell a kidney if I have to.
Write down his to-do list of enemy heroes to kill.
He's got to write down.
I'll sell
your
parts
full
of my
name
liver.
and the particular
The
underworld
good parts,
that
of
you're
course.
going to be sent to for the
He's
crimes.
got some paperwork to fill out.
Yes,
basically.
so that gives you the time to hit him with a hammer or whatever.
And you
your
know what?
preferred
Honestly,
method of
because he
stopping
looks like
those
such a
is
bureaucrat,
before, you're facing
he
into
is the
next to you.
most
So-
scariest
the
looking
Lecton's very cool
villain.
there as well. I think
He truly
lots
is
of
a villain if he's a
the death
bureaucrat.
stuff in the Mortal Realms has got some really interesting aesthetics, basically like built out of bits of bone.
Yeah,
and
basically,
spectral
I
stuff.
have a thing against
and we're seeing that again here. So the Lecton there is a little bit Ossiarch to some extent. You've got kind of bits of bone reforged.
Yeah, I like it.
Nagash is obviously the
It's a
god
cool
of all of
piece.
death.
It's a
Nagash,
cool piece.
Ability to kind of call from all those various powers, and there's
Like,
lots of stuff
you
on
know,
the top of the dimension. Like
talked
the,
about this
the candles
many,
there
many
that
times.
hark back to some of the
You know,
the wider things in the Night
just
Haunt
all
range,
the-
like the black coat.
The thought that goes into a
so
lot of the
those kind
Age of
fit
Sigmar
right in,
stuff
but,
versus a
looks like
lot
it
of
could
the
be quite a fun
40k
project
stuff.
for painters as well.
Absolutely, I've seen some appreciation in the chat for the liver
Like
spots
honestly, like you know,
on the
like
back, which is
with the
like
Eldar
an
stuff,
extra
would I have
quality
wanted them to make drastic changes? in
You
them?
would have thought
No,
that
not
once
at
you
all.
kind of,
And so
went
really, it's
beyond
kind
the
of
mortal coil
amazing
and
how,
no longer had skin.
you know,
that,
the
liver
design
spots would no
team
longer
for
be an
the
issue, but
Eldar,
no,
you know,
Nagash has,
basically restrain
decided to bring that
themselves,
with you.
right?
this is the curse. And a brand new unit for the Night Haunt army in the
Not
Craven
bad.
Throne Guard, which we can
They're
see.
kinda cool.
are
The guy
armed
on the
with
far
crossbows.
right
It's
looks
a
kinda cool.
shooting unit for a Death Army.
And
Yeah,
the
so
standard
this is
bearer.
this is really interesting. For
I don't know how
Death
he
Army
reloads
in
his gun if
Age
he's
of Sigmar
holding his
because,
flag
generally
and he
speaking,
has a crossbow. I don't know
there's
how
a lot of
he-
things going for
how
Death
he
Armies.
does it.
They're usually pretty durable. They hit pretty hard. They've got lots of magic and cool stuff. One of the things
Again,
they haven't really been able to do.
your liver
is
isn't worth
compete
much, too much
in the shooting
mileage?
phase.
Yeah,
they've got a
that's-
few things that
that's
kind of scream. at
very
people.
likely.
But it's not quite the same.
Cam
thing as
Carey,
having,
interested
like, a
to
dedicated unit
what
that's got
comes
some,
after
some
then
firepower.
with the
So these
book.
guys
Yeah, I don't
add
know.
a really interesting thing.
You mean
into the
like
mix.
as far as like the
So,
Eldar Codex is concerned?
So in game terms first, I guess, they give you a shooting unit, which is something that almost no death unit has access to. They are part of Valentis's
game.
guard, basically, so I think that's the right...
Curdos Valentine.
That's Valentine, that's
Craven
right,
King.
that's the fella, the Craven King. So these are his kind of spectral guard, and you can see the banner there has got some kind of nods to that as well, that kind of fits in quite nicely with his aesthetic. And you can imagine these guys kind of cruel, kind of cackling warriors that kind of cut down enemy at a distance sort of thing, in that kind of slightly spiteful way that all Night Haunt, none of them fight fair, basically. They all kind of fight and laugh at you as they do it.
And they're probably doing part of Curdos Valentine's curse.
Mr.
where those around
Kavoshi,
him
didn't know you were
with
up this late. I
tongue
missed
cheek
a
or
few of your
passive-aggressively
last
supporting
live
you,
streams.
not
Glad I'm
really
able to catch you.
actually
Yeah,
supporting
Doing a great job.
I'm just
Bob.
kind of
that's great. Oh, you managed
streaming
to
this
drive
reveal
off that
and
one grot. Well done, you're brilliant.
you know, hanging out with you
can
guys.
see that pointing character second in
guys
from the
can
left.
keep me company.
Looks like he's either pointing at other death units because you haven't got a crossbow and we do, or maybe he's just pointing at whoever's going to get.
I
shot
was
down
more fired
by
up
the
for this
small
reveal.
crossbows next.
The miniatures are very
Pre
fun as well.
all
They've got,
the
like, a really interesting
reveals,
kind of hunched
the
aesthetic.
leaks.
So they look like
for a lot of the other
guards,
stuff.
don't they? You can imagine them like patrolling a battlement somewhere in the realm of death, and they've got that kind of hunched over, brutish sort of look to them, which is quite an interesting aesthetic for a Night Haunt, which are usually quite spindly, I suppose.
Yeah, and
I like all the
interesting
Warhammer
kind of
goodies too.
bodyguard dynamic.
I mean, I like it
the
all.
Bodyguards for generals or leader characters are.
You know, I
better
don't play.
fighters,
I don't
so
play
you have to fight your way
Warcry.
through
I don't.
that shield wall.
I've
or
got a
battle
bunch
line,
of things
but just
for
to have
Underworld.
Crossbow.
Haven't played
ghosts,
Underworld yet.
crossbowmen guarding the Craven King. Like, nope, you're not getting anywhere.
I've been in
near
this
that
hobby
floating
for-
king with his
You've got
big
plenty
mace.
of other
30
things,
year-
obviously,
over
like
30
swords and
years.
sides and stuff in the Night Haunt army. This is a niche
And
they didn't have, which is nice.
Games
to see.
Workshop games have
But
been a
Tony
large part of
does
that.
like
Ooh, look at this.
fighting stuff up close, and that is the Daughters of Kane, and their new hero choice,
Ooh, look
the
at
High
that.
Gladiatrix, which has got an abundance of weapon and equipment choices.
Yeah, so a hero level character for the Daughters of Kane. This is from the gladiatorial pits of the Daughters of Kane. Lots of people in Age of Sigmar like gladiatorial pits.
Oh,
it's a common, one of the most popular sports probably in the Mortal Realms. But
Sophie.
the Daughters of Kane do it
More
best.
here than
this
Twitch is
character
having
does
the
it
first
best of all.
cuppa, not
You can see
woken
there's a
up
few
properly
options in the
yet.
kits.
Yeah, well,
You've got the kind of
get
bare
those
head
eyeballs
and,
moving.
knife option on the right, on the left there, and you've also got the helmeted and spear
Cam
option on
Carey,
the
yes,
right.
Mama, please.
I like
Yeah,
the
I
helmet a
like
lot,
it.
this one. It's quite
It's pretty
kind of
cool
fun.
looking.
Minimalist sort of armor.
I like the
let
dual
this person be nice and
staff
fast
thing.
and agile. But a cool
Not crazy
pose
about the
down on
helmet.
that rock
I
with
think
the
I
kind
like
of
the
whip
unhelmeted version
circling.
better.
It's a gorgeous pose, isn't it? Both the hero models are very strong strong contenders for early contenders
so much
for
whip.
Hero Miniature of the Year, I'd say, for the Warhammer Age of Sigmar side of things. Beautiful details in them. And the story, I was looking through the.
I like too how it is fairly minimal.
Say the fighting
and
pits.
her
this is all
her stance and pose and everything. It almost feels like a classic model, like something that we could have seen
kind of
20 years ago, in pewter,
own
right?
purposes, and filled it full of gladiatorial fighting pits, and they sent souls to the Ideneth allies that allowed them to do that. And the Nagash said, no, these are my souls.
Get quite a bit of models in this box.
Encountering these daughters of Cain.
But is it just the two characters that are the new thing, and everything else has already been out for a while?
Take the battle elsewhere into the mortal realms.
Oh no, they get the crossbows, right? Yeah.
That's the full box set. There you can see there's loads of stuff in that box. A lot of the units you'd want to have in either of those armies. So whether you're starting those armies from scratch with this box, or you decide to
Eldar, where are the space
expand armies that already exist, this is a great little way to do either. So very, very cool little set.
The Gim, this is okay. I'm ready to move on to Necromunda. Yeah, there's supposed to be Necromunda and Horus Heresy, isn't there?
That is like the beautiful
like that.
goal of these sorts of battle boxes, isn't it? If
I can't remember
else in your life who
I was just looking at all the little promotional graphics they had for this.
Get them painted.
Or like Nagash, you can selfishly keep all the souls for yourself and just start 2 armies. That's also fine.
I know Chris Peach was eyeing up that High Gladiatrix. Like, that wouldn't take too much to turn that into a Drakari succubus.
Kim, the two characters in the Hunchback crossbow guys. Yeah.
Always got
crossbow dudes. Yeah, and the two characters.
Cool things.
So basically, this is more of like the two army battle boxes, right? Like it's not like this is
flexibility between
like what Dominion was, right?
We were talking a bit before about some of the new Eldari miniatures having some flexibility and like head swappability with various different bits. There's a lot of multi-part.
Couldn't imagine the thing in pewter. The pinning involved for the whip. Yeah,
you talked about doing an auto kind of jet
bike. Again, Horus Heresy will be a couple of new Praetorian
heads. Lots of the
for the Horus Heresy stuff. I imagine it's probably going to be Space Marines.
So if you like doing a bit of mix and match,
it's probably going to be something Space Marine related.
Well, that High Gladiatrix includes a spare weapon and a spare head for that sort of purpose. And once you've built your High Gladiatrix for your Warhammer Age of Sigmar games, you've got some spare bits that you might want to.
I was talking to the camera. I didn't even realize that I didn't have the camera on.
Bits ecosystem and see what else can be created from it. Excellent stuff.
So this next thing we've got, Wade, I know you're particularly excited about.
A little bit, yeah. Should we can
I think we can do it.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, get rid of my face here. Hold on. There we go. Looks like a scrotum. Who the hell is this dude? He's huge. So veiny. Veiny McVeinerson. Horus Heresy. Oh.
So, Wade, I know you are a fan of all things red with axes. So, who is this guy? What do we just see?
This is Commander, one of the
James S730. Wade and Eddie are so tame. They really don't know how to hype product.
So you can see here, this is being presented for the Horus Heresy as the Demon General of Khorne.
Yeah, but I mean, in the UK, it's really early, right?
So I mean, it's, tangling with Sanguinius when Sanguinius was sent along with his pretty much his entire legion by Horus to get him out of the way.
To be up at like 5,
Heresy,
be at work for 6.
A huge amount of demons at Cygnus Prime, and Commander tussled with Sanguinius, and Commander Sanguinius down.
He's a cool looking model.
Angels Legion essentially said, "Leave Sanguinius alone," and got very, very angry altogether. But that was not the only time.
Now this is Horus Heresy, so is this model
in
Resin?
Horus Heresy. He's described as the one who then tussled again with Tussled. Not really.
I think you're underselling what is one of the most epic fights of all history.
Yeah.
Dueled, encountered.
He's
Commander
cool.
And Sanguinius fought once more during the Siege of Terror, according to some of the older background.
Honestly, though, he becomes less cool if he's Resin,
Sanguinius
especially if he's like solid Resin.
Back over his knee.
I don't know. I'm getting older and I'm getting weaker.
But then it didn't end too well.
I can only hold on to
fine
cast and plastics.
He's not rocking around so much in the 41st millennium. But Commander's been there. Commander's been bedeviling the Blood Angels in the 41st millennium.
The Russian bots are out.
Through to the events of the devastation of Baal, tussled with the Sanguinor before that. He was also under Archaon's command during the end times. We're starting to see the end times.
Darren Angron? Yeah, he could be a good proxy for an Angron.
Books to go
like for 40k,
materialize there. He's been everywhere. He's cut the heads off all sorts of things and smashed up Blood Angels, Leviathan, and Dreadnoughts on the base of this piece by the looks of things.
Going silent.
So to see him
drive.
Revealed in a Forge World Horus Heresy miniature, I think it's the Horus Heresy model everyone wants to see, really, isn't it? Right?
Zero. Yeah, Resin has lost its appeal. Yeah.
I know. A really, really cool Bloodthirster model as well, isn't it? So
Fire Drake, I think that his wings are overcompensating for something.
And you can see on the base there, you've got Horus Heresy era armor.
I think his big
weapons and stuff. But it wouldn't take much at all to take this guy and go, actually, I want to use him in my Warhammer 40,000 army. You use him as is.
It's a good looking. I mean, like if it's a Resin, I mean that's fine, right? But I mean,
and in Age of Sigmar as well, you could definitely just drop this guy in and use him too. One of the nice things about nice things, I suppose. One of the nice things about the Demons of Chaos is that they can manifest in any realm, in any space where Chaos has influence. So even if this guy's origin and his main stomping ground is the Horus Heresy, he certainly shows up all over. And I think most recently he's been chopping up Tyranids, hasn't he, in the 41st millennium?
Yes, just as it looked particularly bleak during the events of the devastation of Baal, and High Fleet Leviathan was closing in on all the Blood Angels and their successors, and then they kind of disappeared in the warp storm.
Well, I think Commander's very keen
looks
for
more
fight,
devilly.
So like it's 1-1 as far as he's concerned with the Blood Angels, and he doesn't want anyone else to ruin the fight.
No, they're mine. Leave them alone.
All devilly.
A huge pile of bones and skulls left on Baal Prime in the image of the rune of Cabana.
Zero, especially with the quality of 3D printed resin now. Yeah, and 3D printed resin is quite light as well.
8-foot-tall Space Marine superhuman killing machine.
Mr. Kavoshi, I wonder how much leeway the heavy metal painters get when they paint these things. I couldn't imagine doing all that with a brush. Might have to sacrifice my soul to the dark gods to get one.
The Commander's got.
Wait, you haven't already sacrificed your soul to the dark gods?
Looking at the size of that axe, which is about twice the size of a Space Marine, if you were hit with that, you would be in more trouble than that Space Marine appears to be in.
Yeah, I think the rest of that Space Marine squad exists
really cool.
as a fine mist just surrounding the knees of Commander at this point in time. But yeah, any sort of rules for exalted bloodthirsters that you might already have. He looks like he's pretty much on the same sort of size and power level as Angrath the Unbound as a.
Yeah, so one of the things we know about the Chaos Gods is that their favourite
Bear, Tiger, Evil Laugh. Wait, did I miss all the Eldar fun? Yeah, they did the Eldar at the very beginning. Well, not the very beginning, but yeah.
Famously, of course, Skarbrand.
You'll have to go back to the first. We'll go back to about 10 minutes. That's when it starts.
A bit of a tantrum, let's say.
Yeah.
And at various times you've had different bloodthirsters, different
Fire Drake 18. This ain't your daddy's bloodthirster.
At times, this guy would have been the primary.
Darren, I'm on the fence with the main. Yeah, you don't like the main?
You can decide.
I like it. It feels very classic bloodthirster.
Earn skulls for the Skull Throne and rise his favour in the eyes of Khorne.
Khorne loves that. It would also be nice to see him facing off against that new Avatar of Kane.
Wouldn't it though?
That would be good, wouldn't it?
I remember the first time that the Avatar shows up in the Dawn of War games. I seem to remember that the mission was you had to get the Avatar to go and fight a bloodthirster, and that was the fight. I think the bloodthirster won that fight.
Was Uncle Bill by Khorne?
I sacrificed my soul to the gods, and they gave it back.
But yeah, the kind of rune on the headdress of the Avatar looks like a kind of Eldar.
But that raises kind of two questions, right?
We're gonna
did they give it back out of respect,
rebranding, and do it by the Eldar,
or give it back because
but this is truly a proper
value
demon of the war god of humanity and all other sensible mortal things, not the war god of the Eldari.
A couple of folks in the chat there asking, is it plastic or resin? This is one of the Horus Heresy character miniature series, so this is a resin miniature in highly detailed Forge World resin. So it'll be available from the Forge World web store and alongside the rest of the character miniatures like the Primarch. So if you've built one of the Primarch models up, it's the same stuff that they're made of.
Excellent stuff.
Hopes and dreams.
With an honor guard
it's made of the same stuff, people. Hopes and dreams.
Do we have 8 bloodthirsters yet? We probably there's 3 different ones, and then you've got a couple of. There's a few in resin now, and then there's Scarborough. So you're not far off being able to collect a full unit of 8.
And
Mr. Kavoshi, boo.
It feels like you were.
Yeah, well, it's a Horus Heresy piece, right? So yeah, of course it's going to be resin because Horus Heresy is taken care of by Forge World, right?
So a wonderful demon general of Khorne for the Horus Heresy, Cabanda, his own self. I'm absolutely delighted.
It's a cool piece, to be sure. If I was a real avid Khorne Chaos player, yeah. And also, I mean, like, Khorne demons are cool.
Something slightly different.
Mine is Nurgle, so, you know. Oh. Wait. Oh. No, wait. Oh. What about... Oh. I'm not even paying attention. I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's like Sin City. Interrogator for the interrogating. Oh, uncover the truth. Oh. some deep state shit going on here. Does the UK have a deep state type situation?
So that is the title sequence for Interrogator, which is one of the Warhammer animations that will be coming to Warhammer Plus very soon, by the looks of things. Spring 2022. It's not far away at all, is it?
No, it's not far away. So this is the animation that's on its way after the Exodite, which we know is just around the corner. So there's a couple of cool things that are worth calling out about the Interrogator. So this is a new animation. It's based on a kind of film noir-esque sort of style. And it's very cool. Much an animation that you probably don't want to watch with the kids, because there's some fairly mature themes going on in this. So there's ideas. It's very grim. It's very dark. This is very much a show for people who maybe enjoyed the Warhammer Horus series, or like the kind of grimmer, grittier, darker corners of Warhammer 40,000 lore. Some of the kind of Inquisition and shady back alley stuff that goes on. There's also some themes in there of things like addiction and dealing with some fairly harrowing stuff. But if you're into that sort of stuff and you like your
Zero that look like hot garbage, you didn't think so?
No, there's a lot of things to enjoy.
You can see some of the themes.
The style might not be everybody's taste, but I think it's kind of interesting.
Disturbing imagery altogether, and some more adult themes to contend with.
Sophie, the UK has a snafu situation.
Sort of feet of clay sort of level. This is not all-powerful Lord Inquisitor sort of character. This is an Inquisitor in training. That's what an Interrogator is, and you can see that inquisitorial eye in the logo. It's a very nice little touch. So someone
subtle. The eyes, the Inquisitor's
not quite
eye.
like necessarily, but someone a bit more relatable than some of the more godlike characters of the 40.
I would assume that if you were advertising anything about Inquisitors, as far as 40k setting is concerned, if an eye in any of the words wasn't like the Inquisitor
even
eye,
in the relative civility of the Imperial
lost
High World,
opportunities,
there are
right?
still all sorts of unpleasant ways to meet your end, and plenty of grim darkness in every shadow.
Yeah. And as you mentioned,
Stephen Hall, I still can't see any reason to pay for Warhammer Plus, especially not the price that they want for it.
This is not that, but an opportunity to
honestly,
another realized
if you really need to justify the price to yourself, the cost of the model that you get is pretty much the price you pay.
That sort of connective,
and it's an exclusive model. So if you're about collecting Games Workshop exclusive models, I mean, justify it to yourself in that regard. Like,
and like Angels of Death, this is going to be a fairly long-running series. So I think I've certainly been enjoying Hammer and Bolter. That gives you a little kind of
the last Hammer and Bolter
bites of
awesome
40,000 goodness. But this
and the
is
second
a
last
longer
was
series
really good,
where we see a story kind of progress over.
And the Eldar one
several
was
episodes,
amazing.
Quite a lot of character development and stuff like that, which should be quite good fun.
As you say, a few adult themes and images in there. It looks like he's falling into drink.
But yeah, I mean, like I immediately bought Warhammer Plus.
Bit of both, maybe.
Yeah,
and I don't regret any of
struggling
it.
to look at himself in the mirror.
There's just so much stuff. I mean, all the PDFs of previous White Dwarfs and all the other background material from the campaign books, like the Awakenings and shit like that. Yeah, I mean, and a model. You get a model.
Looking forward to that.
I mean, if you just justify the price of it by the
So
cost of the model.
Animation. We didn't even include that in the list of logos that was going to be talked about today.
We already pay a premium on top of for styrene plastic, so might as well get tutorials and battle reports and exclusives and
pirates. What's cooler than pirates? We all know these
But
booty-loving buccaneers, the terrors of the high seas, are the ultimate in cool. But what happens if you use a complex scientific method to combine them with other things that are just as cool? Well, we at Games Workshop believe the results speak for themselves.
Ninja? What the fuck is that? It's a fucking Corsair prince. Fucking Corsairs.
So we said there was going to be more Eldari to reveal, and that is a new Eldar.
Oh, it's a kill team
for Kill Team.
Fuck yeah!
Yeah, so Corsairs have been a part of Eldar lore for pretty much since there's been Eldari or Eldar of any sort. What we know about them basically is these are the kind of pirate class of the Eldari. They don't necessarily fit neatly into one of the buckets as we understand as the major factions of Eldar. So they're not.
That's
Drakari.
awesome. I love them.
They're not Craftworld Eldar. They're not Rangers. They're not Exodites. These are a pirate subclass of the Eldar that pull from all those different aspects. And you can see on the miniature that we can have a look at here, it's got nods to several of those different spaces. So you can see some of the visual aesthetics and keys of the Craftworld Also, some
Fire
nods to
drink.
some
Nothing.
of the,
Nothing you're interested in,
Drukhari
Chris. Nothing to
origins
see
as well.
here.
So if
Yeah,
you
there's
look
nothing
at
to
that
see
sword,
here.
Very reminiscent of some of the swords we've seen in the Drukhari.
Zero settled down, Beavis. Why was I doing Beavis?
Like crossing the streams a little bit there. But one of the interesting things
He
about
does look
the
badass.
Corsairs
He
is
does
if you
look
look at
badass.
the Eldar range generally, they tend to be very uniform. So you look at the craft world, and they're all very everything is in the same color palette. They're all uniform. Everyone's got the same equipment. Corsairs are the complete opposite end of that. So every single character in this is completely unique.
I'm not gonna lie, my nipples are
kit.
hard.
Every single member of the team is kitted out very differently, which obviously lends itself very well to Kill Team, where we see all sorts of varieties of different abilities and kits in the same way that we did with things like the Commandos and the Death Corps of Krieg.
Like
you
full
can see
mass.
this is just one model from the Kill Team represented at the moment, but you can extrapolate that out in your mind and kind of think about all the
Zero,
various different
join
ways
us on the
that an Eldar
Discord.
pirate
I'll
could
give
be
you a welcome
represented.
there once this stream's done.
But yeah, very cool miniature.
Thank you for joining, Zero.
It's a good pirate.
Gotta have an eye patch.
Yeah.
We only have one rule in the
If you don't have
Discord,
someone in
Zero.
your crew who has an
Don't
eye
be a
patch,
dick.
Can
That's
you
the only rule.
it? And the answer is no.
No, it's just a no. Yeah, they're pragmatic. It's fair to say. I think even though they're not, as you say, they're not living the trammeled life of the Pathfinder and Craft Worlders or the absolute decadence of the Comorites. They still are at risk of having consume their souls if they die out in the, traversing the void.
Oh yeah, Slash doesn't mind. He's quite happy to have his soul flavored.
Yeah. I said that when they showed us the first Eldar that the Kill Team box was coming in February, and that would be Eldar.
The background of
yeah.
For an awfully long time, and we've concentrated on the Craft Worlders and the Drukhari, but the outcasts have always been out there doing their piratical thing. Prince Uriel, he's been a famous, went out on his Gap Millennium and spent some time with his Eldritch Raiders, and there's been a few famous formations.
I think Yvrain as well was a Corsair briefly as well. So there's lots of kind of nods and things to
new chapter for Chris.
Other bits of Eldar lore, and we've seen a little bit about them. So the cloaks are quite interesting.
It's the name of the box.
So you've seen that on. Yvrain's got kind of a little bit of kind of
not that
high,
about
to, but you can see this is the artwork here of the Corsair, and you can see Kill Team Nakmund. So we can confirm that the next Kill Team will kind of
the shoulder pad doesn't that look a little bit like the
seasonal setting
Zangor
40,000, which is the
armor?
Nakmund Gauntlet.
You know, the Zinch Beastmen dudes?
Half of
doesn't that shoulder pad look like the same thing?
As yet to be defined opponent.
Why an opponent as yet to be revealed? Fantastic. Well, we'll look forward to finding out more about that. But yeah, as you say, that's the new season for Warhammer 40,000. So seeing the Kill Team releases featuring as part of that wider meta story, you can get your Nakmund fix.
Oh, they're doing like a narrative to the Kill Team?
Up for pre-order this weekend, I think, and then you can get your Kill Team fix in the Nakmund Warzone.
Zero kind of does.
Eldari Corsairs. As you mentioned, the Commandos, we saw those Commandos released as part of Kill Team, but they also feature
that shoulder armor looks like from those they're called Zangors or something like that, right?
Expect that we'll see these Corsairs.
Yeah, so you can absolutely use these guys in Warhammer 40,000 as well, and because they sit in the kind of juxtaposition between the Drukhari and the Craft Worlders, you can use them alongside.
And I mean, like it makes complete sense. You get the Kill Team,
offer their services,
and you can have this Corsair unit,
and doubloon,
and then play with them in 40k.
Look like these guys,
and that's why Corsairs are included in the new codex, according to the reveals, right?
Little kind of multi-purpose niche
so,
in your army.
This makes complete
we'll
sense.
Find out more about
we're getting Corsairs.
Guard, the rest of this,
which I'm all in. I'm all in on Corsairs, man.
Some really cool stuff on the way, but I think today we can confirm Corsairs are coming. They're going to be coming for Kill Team. Loads of options. This guy has an eye patch and a parrot, and he's a pirate,
fucking awesome
and a ninja, and he's an
I want to see the whole unit now.
What more could you want?
That is the intersection that everyone was looking for, I think. Yeah, people are always looking for more pirate-flavoured things in their Warhammer releases.
Pirate-flavoured things.
That is the Eldari Corsairs for the upcoming Kill Team release. Superb stuff. So that's Kill Team ticked off. Delighted to see that. Should we move on to the...
Let's move on.
The next thing. Big thing.
Okay, let's go. Boys, you're killing me. Oh.
On Necromunda, they say Lord Helmar sees everything. But in the Ash Wastes, we know that's a lie.
Can we do train heist in Necromunda now? Is that what this is alluding to? Damn, they got bloated up.
The wastes decide who lives and dies. Not Helmar, not the houses. Everyone for themselves.
Damn, fucked your shit right up. Yeah, I don't know what the fuck happened there. What's going on? Leave the hive behind. Yeah, we're doing train heists.
Exciting altogether. New Necromunda reveal. Ash wastes. Necromunda ash wastes.
The ash
Leave
wastes.
the hive behind. Go outside. What could be damaging about going outside the hive? It's probably fine, isn't it? It's probably fine.
It's not fine. It's not fine.
Fine at all.
So this
Cam
is
Carey, did I just get sold on
Ash Waste.
Necromunda?
So this is an absolutely huge
Told
thing
you I'm going broke,
for
yeah.
Necromunda for the setting.
Ain't we
since
all?
we've been in Necromunda, basically we haven't stepped foot outside of the hive, and we know all about the hive. The hive is all kind of multi-leveled monstrosity of mechanisms and gantries and factories and all sorts of horrible stuff, and it's an absolutely hellish place to live. But you've
Zero,
basically
right?
been living on
Fucking
easy
fees.
mode for the past
Right
few
in the
years, living inside the
fucking
hive, because
fees.
outside of the hive things get really serious. The Ash Wastes is the name of the kind of vast expanse of wasteland that live
I wish I
between
could
the
I
hives
wish
of
I could call
Necromunda,
these guys
between
and-
Hive Primus and the various other
Guys,
subsidiary hives that kind of sprawl across
do
the
this
great
next.
world of Necromunda. And this new expansion for Necromunda, this great new kind of setting for Necromunda, is set in the Ash Wastes, where your gangs basically have to step out of the
realize
hive
how hard
and
it is
make
to
the
keep
incredibly
shit together
perilous
right
journey
now.
across the wastes. Why would they do that? Basically, they've been paid, which is pretty much why you do everything in Necromunda. So the various different organizations, planetary governors, different industries of Necromunda need materials, people, goods, services.
I wonder if we're
moved
gonna
from
get
one place
like
to another across the various
like a
Ash
train
Wastes.
kit.
They need to put them in great big armored convoys that move across the Ash Wastes. Your gang's job is to protect these convoys from all sorts of horrors that might be out there in the wastes, and there are all sorts of horrors out there in the wastes. The air itself is toxic in various
Cam,
horrible
doing
ways.
well, man.
There are pools
Yeah,
of
thanks.
horrible sludge and stuff that you can fall into and be dissolved by. There are all sorts of horrible critters that have kind of grown fat and awful and horrible on radiation from the hive of thousands of years of imperial rule, and there are people who already call the Ash Wastes home and aren't too happy about people riding big great convoys through the middle of it. So the scene is set for a very exciting expansion.
Yeah,
and
it sounds
commerce
fun.
is the lifeblood of Necromunda, isn't it? They don't make all of these things just for the good of their health. They do it because it's being moved around and sold. And it's maybe your civic duty as a ganger to occasionally go outside and help protect these convoys.
Yeah, I don't think they probably see it that way. They probably just like if the pay.
Yeah,
is
I
good,
can't
they'll do
imagine
it.
like
And
the
certainly if you've never
corpse
been outside,
grinders.
the idea of seeing the
Yeah,
sun
do you
on
want
Necromunda
to
probably
guard
sounds
our
quite
train?
appealing.
Like,
For
are you
going
gonna
to
hire fucking corpse grinders to guard your train?
And the outside of Necromunda is infinitely
These
worse.
big
than even
guys,
the most
spiky
awful
helmets,
of the various
just
dives
frothing at
inside
the
of
mouths.
so.
All these
It's been,
bloody weapons in their
really
hands.
exciting seeing the
Yeah, would you
development
mind
of this
guarding my
edition
truck
Necromunda,
of
'cause I remember
valuables?
The 1995 edition of Necromunda, we saw those gangs realised, and then I think in 1996 Outlanders came out and said, but this is the
Zero's
weirdest
hobby, so it's
thing
kill
in
team in the
hive."
desert?
And we've
Yeah,
seen-
yeah, pretty
we've
much.
had years looking at the
Pretty
development
much.
of the hives and the main gangs and the
I'm
various
curious to see what they do
hangers-on
for it.
and ne'er-do-wells that exist within the hive.
I mean,
So
we're
to
not
get
getting
the
much info. I mean,
first
mind you, I
sense
haven't
of
really been
setting foot
listening to them,
outside
so.
the hive after all these years, and to imagine the amount of
Cam,
then go on into
Tusken
more
Raider
stuff,
rating
realise that we only
intensifies,
heard
yeah.
about in
I can't do it
whispered
right now. I
rumours
was going to
from
do it, but I'm
madmen
not going to do it.
bursting their way in from outside the hive. It's exciting to look forward to the future of Necromunda.
There's a lot of interesting things this brings as well, because
Malice
one of the main things about
Invictus
the Ash Waste is you can't walk
might get
across
into
them.
Necromunda
So
as
the Ash
more
Wastes
than
are
conversion
vast.
fodder
So even
now?
though
Yeah.
you can see the hive in the distance from almost anywhere you are in the Ash Waste, there's always a hive somewhere, because the hives are so enormous.
It's always a
you
hive
could be
somewhere.
300 miles away from the hive and still see it on the horizon. You've got to get a vehicle basically. So what Ash Waste opens up is the prospect of vehicular mayhem, effectively in the world of Necromunda, which is
I get it
pretty
now.
cool and exciting, and obviously
Gorka Morka.
bodes
That's
well
what
for
it
some
is.
cool new miniatures, and you might even have seen some glimpses about what some of those miniatures might
Now
be.
this
in
sounds
that trailer,
fun.
which will be available to watch on the Warhammer Community website.
Nicely done.
If you want to go and pick it up,
If it's about vehicle combat,
on the way. We
then
also
it's
saw a
Gorka
little bit
Morka.
of some of the things
Gorka
you might
Morka
face,
was Necromunda,
in
but with
the Ash
vehicles.
Waste in that trailer too. So feel free to speculate wildly, and I'm sure we'll find out much more about it very soon.
And as is the case with
Yeah,
everything
so
that we've
Zero,
revealed
yeah,
or
so
announced for the
Gorka Morka,
first
yeah,
time today,
exactly.
more and more information will be revealed closer to the relevant times on the Warhammer Community website. This is not the place to announce when these things will be released. It's the place to be excited about the reveal and the
Get
release
hype,
of them.
as they
Exactly
say.
that.
Get
Exactly
hype.
that. There's loads more stuff that we've already alluded to, hinted at, teased, suggested, shown, flat out said is coming, that will have to come first and foremost. And as is the case, you'll always find these things first on the Warhammer community website. But yeah, Necromunda Ash Wastes to look forward to in the future for fans of Necromunda, fans of vehicular combat with the same degree of granularity that you get in the Necromunda skirmish game. Something to look forward to.
It's Gorka Morka. It's Gorka Morka. Because Gorka Morka was Necromunda.
What was your favourite?
What was my favourite greater demon of the War God? I think it was Kabanda, because he's enormous and he's wonderful, and I've liked him for years. But it is an exceptional set of releases altogether. Shall we just run through all of the lovely pictures, the refresh of what we've seen today for anyone who's tuned in since we first kicked off at 6 a.m. an hour ago? So we had the reveal of all of the rest of the Eldari miniatures. Lovely stuff. Thanks, Raph. So that is the Avatar of Kane, his own great self, surrounded by his craft world of friends.
Sweet.
The Guardians that we've already talked about and shown. We've got the Shroud Runners and the Rangers and the Dark Reapers. But over there on the right-hand side of the image, Morgan Ra, the Phoenix Lord of the Dark Reaper Shrine. And above them, the contrast to the Dark Reapers, the Shining Spears.
I think the Shining Spears might be my pick, my favourite pick from this, just because they open up an all plastic.
They all look fantastic. It's all fantastic.
Wanted to do for.
I've been at half mast for the last half hour.
You got a nice variety there because you see those Shroud Runners. They got the Samhain markings in that sort of camo style, and the camo
Samhain
scouts on the back of them. So it wouldn't just
I
be.
haven't been saying it like that at all. Hein
bikers, but yeah, a nice variety of biker archetypes. Lovely stuff. So we had the Eldari releases to look forward to. And then we had the Arena of Shades battle box coming for Age of Sigmar, building on the story of
shade at each
Broken
other.
Realms and the introduction of the new
no codex,
Gladiatrix
no Chaos
for the
Codex.
Daughters of Kane, the Scriptum Mortis, cursed for telling those inconvenient truths about Nagash and how bad he really is, and the new Craven Throne Guard tucked away at the back.
That's a very exciting unit for Age of Sigmar generally, not just for Nighthaunt, but it's going to change up, I think, maybe the way that people play with and against Nighthaunt, which is pretty cool.
Superb. Beautiful photography. Beautiful artwork on the front of the box as well, as ever. And then, his own self, Kabanda, Demon General of Khorne, for the Horus Heresy. Will we see him tussle with Sanguinius as the Siege of Terror rolls on? I hope so.
I mean, I think we will. It's pretty much the
way that wings facing us like that, though, it does look a little
but you can
scrotal
and recreate the antics at Cygnus Prime before that takes place, if you so wish.
It's
Kabanda, his own self.
It's a little bit avocado.
My favourite. And then we saw the opening sequence for Interrogator, which is going to be the next Warhammer animation to follow the Exodite. So much great stuff for fans of the Eldari. We have the craft worlders themselves, the Exodite, that's going to be talking about an Exodite in some fashion. You'd like to think. But then we'll have Interrogator, which will be about
Exodite's
an interrogator. You'd like to think.
Exodite.
So the first glimpse of what we can expect to see from the themes revealed in that. Looking forward to that.
Sophie, some nice models coming out. Yeah.
And then the Kill
Corsair.
Team
I love this guy. I want to see the rest of the gang now.
Along with the new Eldari Corsair Voidscar. And you said that you
Fire Drake, Demon Prince Scrotal.
Really
I think I'm going to have to. I mean, it's probably some
shit
kind
that I
of
drool.
Eldar hawk of some sort from like ancient Eldar mythology, but he's a pirate. It's going to be a
Prince Scrotal.
It would be rude not to.
I'm using that.
And
that might be my new gamer handle.
What the Corsair imagery would look like, a fusion of various Eldari archetypes.
Take a look at the Batwing, bitch.
Is in the front of the Kill Team
box. It's so veiny.
Yet to be revealed. More information on that.
That's a fantastic.
And then finally, we just saw the teaser trailer
Ash Wastes.
Necromunda Ash Wastes.
Gorka Morka returns, bitches.
Out in the Ash Wastes.
Yeah, I think this is a huge thing for Necromunda. I think so. Be very excited. This effectively opens up.
So I imagine we'll probably see the truck and the bike
all sorts of exciting
that you see from the Gene Stealer
cult.
I'll bet you will see those in that game.
I'm going to say this is probably the most exciting year for Necromunda ever. Even
is there another vehicle
that's like launch of Necromunda?
It's like a civilian-looking vehicle.
Yeah, for Necromunda.
I remember.
Plenty of good stuff to look forward to. Heck yeah, the Wastes. Yeah, seems a lot of excitement in the chat about the Necromunda Ash Wastes, the sort of thing that we've heard about, known it's out there, but we've not been given the freedom to go and run.
Yeah,
so
that's pretty cool.
That is the end of the Warhammer Preview Online, taken off the back of the LVO 2022. Thank you so much, Eddie, for sharing that with us.
I did this anyway, even if you weren't filming.
Should be asking how many people are still sober in that presentation hall.
And make sure everything happened as it should do. Thanks, as always, to our moderator.
Sprawled out halfway through the presentation. At the end of the Eldar, they just
Thanks to everyone for tuning in. If you've missed any of these reveals, I'm sure the rerun will be happening, so it'll be happening again as live as soon as we finish. But all the information will be revealed on the Warhammer community website, and all the information about when these things will come out will be revealed in the fullness of time at the same place, the Warhammer community website. We'll be back later on today on Twitch for Hangout and Hobby, 5 o'clock UK time. But for now, the rest of us are probably going to go to sleep because it's pretty early still where we are. So thanks very much for tuning in, and we'll see you again soon.
That's it. There we go. So, was it everything we hoped it would be? Oh, you know what? We can turn the music down now. Was it everything we... Oh, no. Got to turn it down here. Fuck. Anyway, okay. So there we go. Now then. Question still stands. Was it everything we hoped it would be? I'm sure many of you out there are very disappointed with the 40k stuff. Lack of anything other than being Eldar. And then, of course, since so much of the Eldar had been leaked, you know, get everybody excited for the Avatar and everything like that. But our first time seeing Mogan-Ra, and yeah, he looks cool. He looks very, very cool. Yeah. Kim, I fucked up and I'm going back to bed. All right. Malice Invictus, maybe a civilian style Taurox or similar. Yeah, like the Taurox. Yeah, that's it. Like that truck like that. I'll bet you we'll get some of that stuff, and then it's probably like conversion bits for those vehicles. I'll bet you something like that. Something that can just easily, you know, kind of throw things in. Yeah. Fire Drake, I want my money back. No one cares about Eldar. Eat a bag of dicks. Zero. Forge World did have 2 Imperial buggies back in the day. Oh, yeah. Yeah. They had them for the Elysian troops, right? Are those ones you're thinking of? Yeah. Kim, all the other stuff looks great, and it was worth the look. Yeah. You know what, though? They didn't tell us codex, did they? Was there a codex with that? I didn't see one. I didn't hear one. But mind you, I've been flapping my gums so much, you know, they could have said, yeah, this is part of the codex and blah, blah, blah. And the codex coming out this date. And I was like, oh. Anyway. Disflux. Eddie and Wade had to pretend the Twitch chat wasn't happening. Oh, yeah, I'll bet. Yeah, I'll bet, like, you know, just like, ignore everything and, yeah, just because I'm sure it's so many questions and I'm sure everybody's spouting out all sorts of, you know, responses to stuff and everything like that. Yeah. Disflux. Oh, no, I already read that. Gim. Trash. It's trash. It's garbo. Fire Drake, I'm only 90% disappointed. John Walker Black. I almost said Johnny Walker. I have to thank you for posting this on YouTube. I wanted much to watch this on my TV. Okay, cool. Sorry I talked through all of it. And I apologize to your family if you have family nearby, especially young ones, considering that I have not been watching what I've been talking about. Well, I never do, so, you know, whatever. Crap, now I'm lost. Zero Hobby, yes, sir. Jax the Pirate, nothing but the Codex. Nothing about the Codex? Oh, okay, well. Yeah, so, the Codex is still a ways out. So the Avatar and Mogan-Ra and the Guardians, the Dark Reaper, all the new stuff, yeah, that's still got to be, like, months out. Like, I can't really see that being earlier than May, right? That's what I'm thinking. But, yeah. I don't know. I can wait. I got plenty on my plate right now as it is, so. Who knows? But, yeah. Anyway. Zeros. Later, y'all. Later, dude. Kim, nope, it's more stuff that they're going to the show of before they release the Codex, just like they did with the Necrons. Yeah. Very true. Fire Drake. I don't get that. Nice stream, Chris. Don't forget to like people. Don't forget to like people? Like, are you telling the people don't forget to like? I thought you were telling me don't forget to like people, and I'm like, that's actually good advice for me, really, because I kind of don't like people. No, I like people just fine. Jax the Pirate. I am interested in new Necromunda Waste, Gorka Morka vibes, or wishful thinking anyways. Yeah, I mean, but it only makes sense that they would bring back something like Gorka Morka, because that's something that there's people out there who want Gorka Morka back. Gorka Morka was Necromunda with vehicles, using the second edition vehicle rules. That's really what it was. There was differences, but they weren't, not unlike any other kind of game rules. They were very, very similar. Because, I mean, like, at the time, Warhammer Fantasy and Warhammer 40k, the rule sets were very, very close. The way the stats, dice rolls, tables, all that stuff, they were very, very similar. Second edition 40k gave us Necromunda, and Necromunda was second edition rules. And then, of course, Gorka Morka came out. You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah. Anyway. But yeah, as far as it being wishful thinking, yeah, I mean, like, it's not unimaginable to include orcs in this Ash Waste game, because it's out in the Ash Waste. You know what I mean? It's Mad Max. It's like this, it's really what it is, right? It's just this Mad Max crazy crap going on. It's dark future, Gorka Morka, Necromunda, 4 or what is it, 4 5.0? I don't fucking know. You know what I mean. Anyway. Fire Drake 18. I want Demon Lord Scrotal to be a reality. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Jeez, it's 2:15 in the morning for me. I should go to bed. Kim, see you guys on Way of the Brush Saturday. Now I'm going to bed before I keep getting distracted again. Yeah, let's just end the stream right here. We saw the preview. That was the mission. That was the point of this live stream. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Tune in Saturdays. I do another live stream here on YouTube, Way of the Brush, answering your questions. I'm sure many of you already know that crap, but whatever. And if you thought this was fun and interesting, and whenever G-Dubs does these live streams, should I just, sit in and just talk over them and make jokes and make fun of them, then, give me a thumb up. Or down, I guess. I don't know. Oh, Super Chat, Benjamin S. Hail Kane, hail Beotan, hail Chris. Thank you. Thank you, Benjamin. I was just about to enter, and you got that in. Thank you very much for the Super Chat. Sophie, well, have a good sleep and day, peeps. Peeps. You think I'm doing email? No, I'm not doing an email. No. Let's go. I'm going to bed. If you're I'm on the Eastern Standard Time. If you're in this zone with me, if you're in the zone with me, man. Whoa. If you're in the zone, it's fucking approaching 20 after 2 in the damn AM. It's time for bed. Gim, Super Chat 5. Do an email. Fuck you, I'm not doing an email. Fire 18, $10 buys us another hour. Fuck off. No, I'm going to end it there. Screw you guys. Thank you for the Super Chat, boys. Thank you very much. Again, everybody else, fuck off. No. Thank you for watching and joining me and, tuning in for my goofy stuff. I don't know. Sometimes just ask myself, like, what am I doing? Could also be thought patterns are all messed up. Barfing sheep, there he is. I'm in a time zone where it's too fucking early to be awake. What year is it? Yeah. Just rubbing your eyes. What's going on? My eyes right now feel like little piss holes in the snow. I take my glasses off. I feel like I'll do the Milhouse thing where my eyeballs will get like really, really tiny. I mean, they're probably bloodshot as shit right now, but yeah. Anyway. Nathaniel, how much is the $100 by us? Love you long time. No. All right, I'm getting the hell out of here, people. Thank you. See you guys later. Fire drink. Chris had hard nipples earlier, so a lot. Yeah. I'm going. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing. Give it a like. Ring the bell. All that stuff. Blah, 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 blah.